And good evening and welcome to tonight's show, The Scanner Guys, live from our studios right here in Cincinnati. We're covering a unique topic. We're talking about organizing your stuff. So we're going to help you kind of think outside the box. And a lot of these things you can find at your home center in some unusual places. So easy ways to organize your police scanner gear is tonight's presentation. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples of things that I've used before in the past or currently using. So, and some of which you may have heard on this show, with various topics. So what I basically have done is taken all of it and compiled it into one show. So let's start off the presentation right now. So we want to make sure to remind you to follow, like, and subscribe to our social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, at The Scanner Guys. Definitely do that because, you don't want to miss a beat when it comes to our program. So we're at The Scanner Guys on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and, of course, Twitter, or X as it's now known as. The Scanner Guys Show .com is our website. You can shop our swag shop, be able to pick up yourself a hat, t-shirt, hoodie. It is getting a little bit chillier now, so you may want to pick up something warm and help promote your favorite show. So tonight we're talking about easy ways to organize your scanner gear. So let's take a look at our first one here. And a lot of people probably recognize this. This is something that you can certainly get at the home center. This one here is the Cobalt 17 compartment plastic small parts organizer. So this is great for, scanner connectors such as, SMA to BNC adapters, all those other things, maybe those little knobs that you have accumulated from the mobile scanners, that you have to be able to mount it on a U-mount or maybe one of those Spectrum Force, large desk mount brackets. So you probably want to keep some of those things around. Now, the great thing about this Cobalt one, the dividers are actually removable. So you could see the ones that are in blue, those dividers will actually pull out. So you can actually make the compartment a little bit bigger. In this case, you're able to maybe use some storage for some antennas. Maybe keep some of those telescopic antennas that you've accumulated from the mobile radios. Or maybe even some of those rubber duck antennas you're not using anymore. So you can really get creative with storage. And a lot of times these items are stackable. So let's say if you've got a whole mess of things that you're kind of keeping just in case you need it. I mean, this is a great way to store some of those SMA to BNC adapters. Those are small and a lot of times will get lost. So, if you're not using your BNC and SMA adapter, get one of these. Put that in there. Put the other stuff that's in there, those mounting screws. Maybe you have some other antenna connectors, that convert from an end connector to a BNC. We accumulate a lot of things in this hobby, so this is certainly something that you may want to consider. And I would also recommend getting the one that has the removable sections, the little walls there, so you can make it bigger or smaller in this case. So I really use this myself. This one here is, from Lowe's, but you can find them at any of your home centers. It's great for being able to store away some of those scanner parts. Here's something that I found, and this was actually on Amazon. Now, this is an extra large tote or caddy for cleaning supplies. Thinking outside the box here, some of you have a few portable scanners. Maybe 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5. And you want to kind of keep them all together. So this is something that you could look at, finding one of these, in this case, a cleaning caddy, and you could be able to store, your portable radios in the pockets on the side. Now, the good thing about this caddy, in the middle, you actually have four foldable dividers in there. So you're even able to store some of the radios inside the caddy. Or you could even use some of those pockets for storing some of your rubber duck antennas, extra things, maybe your GPS kit, maybe inside one of those pockets in the inside. But the thing is try and keep your stuff organized. And the great time of year to do that is now. So you're going to be probably spending more time inside of your home, because it's getting a little cooler out there, and it may be a great time to be able to clean up, your stuff there. In this case, organizing it in one of these caddies. Now, another place to look for something like this, believe it or not, is Joann's Fabrics or one of those craft stores. A lot of times they will have these type of caddies to keep things organized for crafting as well. So looking for something like that. I mean, this is great. Having the pockets around the outside of the caddy allows you to be able to put, your scanners in there. So, maybe you have a couple of two-way radios. Maybe you want to put those in some of the pockets. You've got the 125 AT and your 436 HP. You may want to just put them in the pockets and then put some other accessories in some of the pockets as well. I mean, this is just a great way to keep things organized. And it's certainly, a lot of times we accumulate a lot of stuff in this hobby. Quite a bit of stuff. And I like this one because it shows, the inside. You can do those foldable dividers. So you can kind of customize the interior, to fit what you need. But this is certainly one way to kind of organize your radios. I mentioned this in a show or two. Label maker. Labeling your hardware, your cable, and storage containers. So I've seen some people actually number their radios, and they have them inventoried. So they'll typically use a label maker and do that. I know for some of my batteries, I actually have them labeled battery 1, battery 2. Now, the great thing about doing that, I can keep track of which battery needs to be charged. Let's say I just, used battery 1 and I've exhausted the battery. So now I need to charge battery 1. And maybe battery 2, I use it for half the day. And then I take it out of the scanner once I'm done. And basically I know I got a little bit more of a charge on battery 2, but I need to charge battery 1. I mean, prime example is the SDS 100. Some of us do have a couple of batteries. You want to keep track of those by numbering them. The other great thing about a label maker is, let's say in the back of your shack, you have a bunch of wires, and you're trying to figure out what's what. So another great thing to do is to label those wires. So maybe, create almost like a little flag, print the label a little bit longer and then basically wrap it around that cable. So let's say you have multiple scanners. So you'll know that this wire here is the adapter for your 536. And maybe this other wire is for your Whistler 1065. And the same thing with programming cables. So you may want to label those as well, so you know that this is for Uniden radios. This one here is for your Whistler radios. And the storage containers. You could go crazy there with that storage container I showed you earlier. Maybe you could label, which each bin is. This is for this and this is for that. So when you look quickly through the plastic, you can say, oh, that's my N female or male to B and C male, whatever, whatever it may be, kind of label that. So you can kind of look real quickly. Let's say you have multiples of those bins. You can look right at the front of the case and say, oh yeah, oh, there's the N connector I need right there. So let me open this up and take it out, and you'll be good to go. So label makers are certainly great for being able to do that. Steve, which is watching right now, mentions with his AR radio that he uses a label maker with the scanner bank IDs. So maybe he doesn't change his programming that often on that particular model radio. So this allows him to kind of look at the back and say, okay, so what bank is this? And then I could say, oh yeah, that's bank 4, or whatever it may be. So a lot of this tonight is basically thinking outside the box. Looking for things to organize. In this case, organizing by labeling, which is great. And these are relatively inexpensive. You probably will spend, I've seen it, probably about $30 some odd dollars up to $50. It varies. But pretty much, a lot of places, even your home center has these now. You're able to find that in your home center, and any of the, Target or Walmart, Meijer, any of those department stores also have these as well. So, and it's really easy to use. You get those, you get the cartridges. Make sure you probably get an extra cartridge, especially if you're starting a big project. When you buy this, you may want to pick up a couple extra cartridges, because you're going to probably find, boy, I've got so many things to label. And then, of course, put this somewhere in your radio room or your shack room. And then when something comes up, you're able to label it. I just can't say enough about, kind of organizing your stuff, because it makes it a lot easier. The other thing, too, we collect a lot of adapters. And let's say you don't have your adapters stored with the scanner. So maybe you want to label some of those, so you know that AC adapter goes to the 780 XLT or whatever radio it may be. So you'll know right off the bat, where is this adapter? Here, oh, here it is. It's labeled. So that's a great thing to keep in mind. Oh, anybody that's watched this show knows about these Velcro one wrap thin ties. They're about 8 inches long, about a ½ inch wide, typically available in gray and black. This is great for cable management. So great for, tidying up those programming cables. We have a lot of them. And also for shack cable management. So a lot of times, you're going to run, your AC adapter or programming cables, and maybe you don't need to have the full length of that cable loose. So what you can do is tidy it up, unravel what you need, and then tidy up, what's loose, so it keeps it, looking organized. So if somebody does look in the back of your shack, they'll say, wow, this is really organized. The other thing, too, it saves you from having a spider web mess of cables where it becomes a mess, because you're keeping it tidy. So when you drop the cables down and you plug it in or whatever it may be, it's not getting all messed up with everything else. Of course, you have to, keep it tidy as you add things to your shack or remove things, so make sure you do that. And it's great for, for those adapters you don't use all the time. It's, rather than using twist ties, this stays right on. When you loop it through the cable, as you can see with the one on display, envision a cable going through that. So that tightens up to the cable, and then basically you wrap up the cable, and then you take the Velcro and it sticks together, keeping the whole cable together, as you can see on the cardboard of the actual picture there. You can see the cardboard where it shows the cable all wound up together. So this can be used, from even, those internet cables as well. I mean, a lot of times where our shack is, we're running, Cat 5 or Cat 6, for our hardline for our computer and our routers and wireless routers and such. So you want to tidy up those cables. They come in a 50 pack. It's under $10. And typically you can get this at the home center as well. I find that the home center usually has the best price on this versus some of those other stores where it could be a little bit more. But at your home center, you typically can get a 50 pack of these ties, and that'll last you quite a while. So I would recommend, keeping this around in your shack room. So when you get a new toy, you're able to, instead of using that twist tie, which is very easy to lose, you know how it is with the twist tie. You open up the package, you take the twist tie off, and then you set up things, and you're like, oh, where is that twist tie now? You don't know where it is because it's thin and small and typically black. I mean, with this, at least you can wrap it, you can see it on there, and it's great. I also use this for my cell phone charging cable as well. It kind of keeps that tidy as well. So if I'm traveling, of course, I'll throw that in a suitcase. It'll be wound up nice and neat. And then, of course, when I arrive to the hotel, I'm able to unravel it, plug it in, and then when I'm leaving, being able to do that as well. So a lot of great ways to keep things organized. So let's talk about a few other great ways to do organization when it comes to police scanner gear. So of course, we've talked about the Velcros, we've talked about a caddy for your portable radios. We also talked about, one of these bins to be able to put your stuff in, a label maker to keep things organized. You also probably want to definitely, tote your radios. The radios that you're not using, especially if you're moving. So typically at your home center, they'll have those large black totes with the yellow covers. Those are great for carrying radios. But the thing is, for me, for my scanners, I typically kept the scanner box, because it has all the protective materials. So I actually still have a lot of my, my scanner boxes for the various radios that I have. And when I do move, I pack everything up nice and neat in there. If you don't have that, I would strongly recommend, getting bubble wrap. Now, those of you that may be moving, your home center will have that, and huge, packages. Also, your Sam's Club, BJ's, Costco will carry that bubble wrap in high volume, I guess we can call it. So typically when I do, wrap up radios, I will go one direction, wrapping it around, and then I'll wrap it the other direction. I want to protect all sides, especially when it comes to a mobile radio. You've got on the front and the rear of the mobile radio, you've got your whole entire control panel with knobs and such, and the screen. In the back, you have, your antenna, BNC connector, and other things back there, and you want to protect that. And of course, I protect the sides because I don't want the radios scratched and dinged up. But that's another way, being able to store away, some of the radios that you're not using, and you have the space, get one of those big, totes, and figure out what you have and what size would best fit that. So that's another great way of doing that. And keep things organized, because you never know when you're going to need, maybe this AC adapter or that SMA to BNC adapter. I try to keep some of the stuff on hand so I have all that available. So Steve is actually going out to Buffalo to visit his younger daughter, and he's staying across the road from the airport. So he's listening to the aviation traffic, radio traffic, and he says it's a great place to listen to the airplanes. Yeah, aviation is a lot of fun to be able to monitor on the scanner. Also the railroads. Let's say if you were staying, in the Cincinnati, Ohio area, and you weren't too far away from the the yards that are in the Queensgate section of the city. Lots of things to listen to in the yard, and the yard's constantly operating 24/7. So if you're staying by an airport, I know Chris Schultz, he also listens to police, fire, and the railroads. He also is an aviation enthusiast as well. So, he likes listening to that as well, which is awesome. Just looking at a few of the comments here. Chris states, he's got 3 batteries for his SDS 100. So that is great. What I recommend, if you do have external batteries for your SDS, get the external charger. Now, the reason being, if anything did happen to the battery inside the scanner, it'll damage the radio. I mean, that's $600 and some odd dollar radio, depending on what you've spent on it, can be quite expensive. So you probably want to get the external charger. External charger is a lot cheaper to replace than the actual scanner. Same thing with the rechargeable batteries. If you're using, a GRE scanner or a Uniden scanner, it takes AA alkaline batteries. Of course, you're going to use those and throw those away. But if you're using rechargeable batteries, get one of those little rechargers. You take the batteries out, throw it in the charger. It'll charge a lot faster in there. Plus, the same thing, if anything happens while it's charging inside the radio, that's going to cause damage to your radio, which is going to be very expensive. Another tip that I would recommend, if you've got several different antennas that are kind of not super long, maybe some telescopics and some reasonably length antennas, a toolbox. I'm looking at the Stanley toolbox that's down on the bottom of my screen tonight in my office here. So a toolbox is definitely great for some of those larger items. Let's say, for example, you've got a couple of different antennas, a couple of adapters, programming cables. Maybe you want to throw those in there. And maybe have the toolbox right in your room as a go-to thing. Maybe you put those zip ties in there. Those Velcro zip tie things, you can do that as well. So it's all about thinking outside the box, and I would certainly recommend that. Let's see. I'm just looking at some of the comments. Yeah, so giving recommendations to Steve, which he's in Buffalo, New York. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely something. And it's great to be able to, if you're doing some traveling, you may want to create, a little bag of things that you need. And let's say you're traveling, you want to bring like a AC adapter, programming cable, maybe a BNC to SMA adapter. You could put it in a Ziploc bag. But what I would recommend doing is getting the freezer Ziploc bags. Those tend to be a little bit thicker and more durable. So I would strongly recommend getting that. Let's Go Rail Fanning has got a question for me. This is a train aficionado question. If you're joining this show for the first time, on the weeks that I'm not doing the scanner guys, I'm doing the Train Aficionado show, which airs on the opposite Wednesdays. So Let's Go Rail Fanning is asking about the Cincinnati Eastern Railroad, the Chase. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing that. I actually did that last Friday, and the video is up on the Train Aficionado YouTube channel. So that was a lot of fun. My good friend Chuck basically cased out the whole entire line. He's very thorough, so what he does is he figures out, where the rail fanning spots are, what are the best roads to get there, and then that was quite interesting because we set up at one spot. If you watch the video, we set up at one location, and we weren't sure when it was going to leave because basically it'll head in out of one direction and then up another. And so we were there for quite a while. And then once the train passed us, you stop moving along. You go into the various locations, and thankfully it's a line where the train is not going terribly fast, so you're able to get ahead of it and then take some photos. So it was a lot of fun. Let's go rail fanning. I do have another chase video, which I'm hopefully going to work on this weekend, and will air on Wednesday night. So that'll be the next Train Aficionado show. And I'm really excited to be able to post that one. And it was an interesting chase. We actually chased it in a railroad line that's in Indiana and Ohio, and we followed it in one direction, and then we followed it on its way back. And then we basically, on the way back, we shot video at two locations that we weren't able to do when we were traveling east. But when we traveled northwest back, we were able to grab those locations. So definitely it was a fun video. Some older scanners came with NiCad batteries and a recharge plug into the radio. Yeah, and then the nickel metal hydrate, you needed an external charger. So anytime with the rechargeable batteries, I always say, if you're able to get an external charger, do it in that. One, it's going to be faster. Two, if anything happens, let's say that battery burst, it's going to do it in your radio. I mean, I'd rather, have it do it inside the charger, and then the charger is a lot cheaper than charging it inside your radio. Like a battery charger versus your actual radio is a lot cheaper. So I would strongly recommend, if you've got AA rechargeable batteries, doing an external charger. Same thing with the SDS 100. And we know it's got that battery pack, but Uniden carries an external charger for that. So I would definitely do that. And then it's great to have multiple batteries, especially when it comes to the SDS, because you can't throw anything other than that battery pack in there. You can't throw AA's, it's battery pack exclusive. So if you're one that goes out for the day with your portable scanner and you're not able to plug in anywhere, at least if you have a couple of battery packs, you're able to charge it, which is definitely key. So lots of great comments tonight. We greatly appreciate that. But yeah, tonight we're really basically trying to get you to organize and think outside the box. Let's look at this slide again. I wanted to recap. These are things that are used for other things. Like the tote is used for cleaning supplies. But you look at those pockets, perfect for portable radios. The interior's got some divided sections. You can put more radios there. You've got the parts container. With this Cobalt one, all the blue sections are removable. So maybe you put your rubber duck antennas in certain sections of it, or larger parts in other sections. So you're able to do that. The zip ties, Velcro is great, and it's reusable. So let's say you end up getting rid of something, you can take the zip tie off of it, put it on another cable, and go from there. And then, of course, what's not photoed in this photo, in this photo, is the label maker. So all great things to be able to keep yourself organized. So we just want to remind you that this show is brought to you by viewers like you. So if you're watching this program, of course, you'll see some ads every now and then. That helps us to be able to, pay the subscriptions for the professional streaming software that we're using each and every week, whether it's the Scanner Guys or Train Aficionado. But we do have a merch store. So if you're a super fan of the Scanner Guys, we've got hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies. Support us by getting some of our swag. And you can check it out at our website, thescannerguyshow.com. I plan on adding some more blog entries on the website. I've had several people the last couple of weeks email me questions on the website. I'm going to try to get to those, and I've been traveling a bit for work, so I haven't had a chance to kind of sit down and read those. Also, the great thing about watching our videos is we do have an affiliate link to Scanner Master. So we get a little portion of the sale as long as you use that affiliate link. Click on the description on any one of our videos for Scanner Guys, and click on there, and then just shop the website as normal, check out, and then we'll get a little percentage of the sale. So it goes a long way. We greatly appreciate that. And I can't stress this enough. If you found this channel tonight or in your searches there, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We greatly appreciate that. Give our videos a thumbs up. Post in the comments if you're watching this video after it airs. If you're not able to watch it live, we appreciate you just as much as the people that watch this live on Wednesday nights. But make sure you subscribe to our other social media as well. Facebook, X, of course, YouTube, and Instagram, at The Scanner Guys. We greatly appreciate that. But tonight, this is what we covered. Easy ways to organize your police scanner gear. So all good stuff there. Looking good with all the things there. Somebody's asking about Rich. I haven't spoken to him in a while. I know he's done some changes to his office since his stepson moved out, and he has his own house. They were staying with him at his house in Arizona, so now he has his office back to himself, so he's kind of reconfiguring, as many of you know. But yeah, other than that, I really haven't spoken to him as of lately. I've seen, things that he's posted on Radio Reference. But, as I see, he's enjoying retirement, which is great. So I think I've answered all the questions. So I appreciate all of you watching tonight. I'm hoping that this video inspires you to get your scanner stuff organized. And of course, winter months are coming, so this is the best time to get your stuff organized. Spend some time, get a label maker. Maybe some of these organized bins. Those zip ties are great. I mean, you can do a lot of stuff with some stuff that you can buy at the home center. Of all places, the home center. So we thank you so much for joining tonight. We appreciate all of you watching the program. We hope to catch you again for Train Aficionado Live, which will be next Wednesday. I can't believe. Actually, whoa, wait a minute. Hold on one second. This is a month where there's 5 Wednesdays. So I will be off next Wednesday. I just realized, I looked at the calendar, because today's the 23rd. The following Wednesday is the 30th. So more than likely, I will save that video for the 6th, which I do have something that I'll be doing on Wednesday night. So it'll be a produced video that'll go up. But that actually gives me 2 weekends to be able to put together that video, which is great. There may be some videos that may pop up, short videos that'll pop up on both YouTube channels. So that's another reason why you subscribe, because you'll get notifications of these videos that pop up. So I plan on doing a series of short videos, maybe quick how-tos or quick product reviews. Let's see, I got a few more questions in here. So how does one get the beginning of your how does one get the beginning of your show, of your weekly shows? I'm not sure what you're asking, Lou. So how does one get the beginning of your weekly shows? So I'm guessing that you arrive late to the program. So every one of these videos, once it airs live, it's in the YouTube channel. So you can watch any of these videos that once it posts, you can watch it. So it'll be in this season, which is 2024. So you'll be able to do that. You can also scroll back on it as well. So you can do that too. But yeah, all of the shows, the shows from the beginning of when we went to YouTube are all on the channel. Even when Rich Carlson was the co-host, those videos are all sitting here, which is a lot of videos and a lot of content. So definitely, check the YouTube channel. But yeah, you can watch any of these. You can watch them over and over again if you want. Entirely up to you. But yeah, all these videos that are on this channel are produced by me, along with the Train Aficionado YouTube channel. So it's all produced and all done by me in-house right here in my office/studio. So eventually I'll have to give a tour of what this looks like in here. But there is, there's a studio on this side where I do all my videos, and then this is actually dual purpose. I do the shows from here, and then I actually work in this space because I work from home. Oh, the intro. Tonight I didn't run the intro. The intro is produced. It's it's about a minute so long. I just want to jump into the topic of discussion. But yeah, what does it say here? I have gone to your website live. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, this show airs Wednesday nights opposite of Train Aficionado Live. Currently, right now, our schedule is for the Scanner Guys is the first and fourth Wednesday of every month at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And then Train Aficionado, which airs on the opposites, is the first and third Wednesdays. Yeah, and subscribe to the channel, Lou, so you don't miss any of the videos. I guess he's asking, how can he, get these videos. But yeah, subscribe now. You'll be able to see the Scanner Guys logo there. Subscribe to Train Aficionado as well. Really awesome, awesome show. And we start right at 8 o'clock, so you can sit and stand by as we get on the air. You sit on the page or watch it on the TV, and you're able to do that as well. Well, I thank you all for watching tonight. I hope that you're all safe and have a great week. We'll catch you again, not next week, the following week, but subscribe to the channel. I may pop on a video or two if I get the time, a short, which you guys can watch. So I'm planning on doing a little produced videos here and there on both channels. So hopefully you guys appreciate that. We'd love to hear your feedback as well. But thank you so much for watching tonight. I hope you have a great night. We'll catch you again very soon.